This event has problems. Don't get me wrong, the actual event works fine. In fact, you could say it works overtime in some parts, a little bit excessively. No, the problem with Halloween Havoc is not many people understand exactly where the cards are coming from and the restrictions we currently have. And unfortunately, a lot of those restrictions come from the guys at Cat Daddy. And yes, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, not just in game, which is what I'm here for, but also from the guys at SuperCard themselves, because the cards that you need for this event are few and far between unless you know where to look or you've got credits. And I always say to people at the end of a season, don't spend your credits. And there I am having to say to people, you might need to for this event, which is disappointing, but there's 23 days left on the event and there's enough time for things to change. And that's the first thing I'm going to say to you is don't go crazy on this event. There is 23 days and that will take us to the 5th of November, which is a week before season 12. On the subject of season 12, I did a little like vote for this video of I'll make a guide if we get X amount of likes. And boy, did you guys want this guide. So I'm going to do another one on this video. Do you guys want a guide about what to do before season 12? When certain packs expire, what code you should be redeeming before the new season drops, and maybe things that you might miss that you could have to over prepare yourself. Seriously, there's some things that if you don't do now, you're going to miss out big time. Let's say 1200 likes because it's season 12. If we hit that, then that's the next video we'll do. Or you might press the thumbs up anyway because you want to do the oxygen check. And I need y'all to do that because I'll worry. Sometimes I'll worry. Gotta make sure we're breathing, everyone. Gotta be sure. And in the comments down below, let me know the last card you got or the first card you're gonna get, whether it's gonna be Alexa, which is probably the most popular and definitely the best if you're looking for boom cards, or you might be just on the verge of grabbing Rhea Ripley. I can almost guarantee you that the lowest level of comments will be for Kairi Sane because she is just insanely difficult to get your hands on. So let's track back to the comment I made earlier on. There are nearly 4 weeks left on this event. And that part is really important because there will be changes. It's the same with every single event. And Halloween Havoc is no different. In fact, Halloween Havoc is a mishmash of different types of events. It's got a bit of WrestleMania Forever in there with the training cards into the cauldron, or the cards to then build up to a certain card, which in WrestleMania Forever was The Rock. This time it's a big old Rhea Ripley that is as haunting as it comes. Anyone with arachnophobia, I'm gonna say, is probably not the biggest fan, actual spider or otherwise. You've got community milestones, something borrowed from SummerSlam Rocks, and the little map which you can see is something that was available in Titan Titans. All of those events got easier over time. The one thing I can say, which I'm really happy about, is unlike WrestleMania Forever, you don't need to go to crazy lengths to get one specific card, whether it be a support, piece of equipment, or a manager. No, you just have to collect the legacy cards and put them into the cauldron. You do this by going into Halloween Havoc and pressing the turn in button. Select all, or alternatively, you might have to select certain superstars, like you might decide to go for Kairi Sane, so you go for female, right arrow for Kairi Sane, and you pick your Kairi Sane. I mean, if you've got enough of them to cash in, or sorry, turn in. Now, the basic way of getting these cards, I don't really need to tell you all, because the small cards, or the 5 cards leading to Rhea, are Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Aleister Black, Kairi Sane, and AJ Lee. Getting Alexa Bliss, for example, you get from Boom, the draft board, and the store for packs. The same goes for Kairi Sane, Aleister Black, and Becky Lynch. AJ Lee, however, is only available in 2 ways: through Halloween Havoc and through the community milestones. And I've left 2 of these rewards so we can open them together. It's just 3 AJ Lee cards and that's it per reward, which I think is a little stingy. Gonna skip rewards to get our second pack. Epic AJ Lee. Now, I know a few of you are probably going to be asking when it comes to AJ Lee, where is the WWE 2K15 card from Survivor Rarity back all the way in season 1, or the WrestleMania Fusion from the same season? You know, when AJ Lee was first in the game. I'll just answer that one now. It's probably licensing based for the first image. That's what I'd imagine anyway. And the season 1 fusions usually are put into packs that you pay for, or you might get lucky and get the free packs, which also have these legacy cards in. But no, you won't be able to find that card. I'm guessing they're going to save that for something special, probably involving money. Back to how you get the legacy cards though, and there are 4 ways to get them from the store. The first is in these free packs, which you get 2 every 4 hours. In each pack is 2, meaning you'll guarantee to get yourself 2 legacy cards per pack every 4 hours, which means if you did every one, you've got a total of 24 cards you could get from these packs, as there's 12 packs per day. There's also a free pack given daily, which you'll find at every store reset. So that's 2 ways. The third way is Tomb Smasher. Now this one I made a bit of a boo-boo by giving some incorrect advice in the last video. This mode should not be used to get these cards. If you do manage to get these cards, take it as a nice extra. No, focus on the yellows, because the yellow urns give you more legacy cards. I believe up to 20 if you get all 5 of them. And when you're in the mode, try to go for open spaces to get as many of the urns as possible within your free attempt before having to potentially spend credits. I certainly wouldn't spend on this mode unless you genuinely want to speed up your process. And I can tell you now, there are cheaper ways to get more of the legacy cards you need. This mode is a bit of a non-starter for me, almost as bad as the last time they had Tomb Smasher. I mean, at least then they were throwing Axiom in my face. I've not had a single one of these Halloween cards from this pack. So use it for what it's good for, the yellow urns only. And if you find this guide useful, maybe hit the subscribe button, because hey, season 12's coming up and we do guides for pretty much every limited time event that's in the game. The last way is the big boogeyman. I know a lot of free-to-play players are going to groan at, and that is money. Yes, whether it's credits or these packs here, the perfect potion bundles, just from personal experience, I would focus more on the game mode and on packs, not just for saving money, as you'll get more value per money in these packs than you will do on anything that's in the store. So now you know how to get the cards in the store. How do you get them in Boom? Well, that part's actually really simple. You just play Boom, really. And I've got a guide that goes through what you need to be doing to get the best rewards, which I'm going to link up here. You can go destructive and just use cards that are specialized, especially the cards that have abilities, or go for a mix of destructive or positive cards. Now, me personally, I've got a very, very powerful deck, and I use a mix of different cards that have got different boosts on. I have the Aleister Blisses, JC Jane is very, very powerful, Nikki Bella as well, and then I use cards with a lot of health, like the Liv Morgan Battle Pass. But if you don't have cards that are stupidly powerful, take the cards you do have and use them to your advantage. A lot of that is explained in that video though, and if I go into it now, we'll still be talking in like 10 minutes time.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
There's a whole guide we've got to get through, but getting through each pack per day gives you another 24 cards. But right now we're up to 48 per day. For free anyway. Right now, there's no other ways of getting them, and it doesn't seem like they're going to offer those extra ways through things like King of the Ring or Survivor, but that might change. Now, they may have plans to introduce other modes, but right now, it's looking like those are the only ways you can get those cards. Personally, I think adding 24/7 mode or Tag Team Takedown wouldn't hurt the game that much. Other ways of effectively getting the cards, and I'll come back to that comment in a second, would be QR codes and locker codes, and I'm pretty sure there'll be a few of those before the end of the season, so make sure you check back here every so often, and you might find a video with one of those codes on them. So yeah, another reason to get subscribed. I'm not going to say it too many times. Subscribe. The last method of obtaining these cards is through the draft board, but I'll be honest with you, it's not really that effective. Apparently, there is a limit of 100 cards per day, but people struggle to get one, so I don't know what's going on there and whether that's going to increase, but this is something I'm going to say directly to the guys at Cat Daddy. You gotta fix this. There's gotta be a way of getting these cards, because if this is it, people aren't going to be happy before the end of season 11, and unless I'm wrong, you don't want to be pushing people away from the game when you're about to bring in something new. Just saying. I'm sure things will change, but I mean, we need to hurry it up a little bit because people are getting really angry. I've seen comments aimed at like the whales and stuff, and whilst they're few and far between, blaming players like me because we've spent money to get these cards, like seriously get a grip, that's how this game survived. I also agree that the game needs to be fairer to free-to-play players to get more of these cards. Now I've finished my Yappuccino, let's get back to the Halloween Havoc and turning in some cards. And inside the game mode, you will see 5 cards like I've introduced before and the big reward of Rhea Ripley. Above each card, you'll see a number out of another number. So you'll see, for example, Aleister Bliss has 29 out of 150. AJ Lee has 88 out of 100. And once you reach that total number, you will get that card offered to you to claim. Once you've claimed that card for the first time, it will fade. Very similar to how Rhea Ripley's faded because I've already got the reward. From that point onwards, every card that you have that goes into Aleister Bliss, for example, would go into Rhea Ripley. And Rhea Ripley has a total of 1,000 cards to unlock her card. The difference being is that you can get more than one of the small cards, but can only get the singular one limited edition Rhea Ripley, as she is so much more powerful than any of the other cards. As the levels of cards you collect increase, you'll start hitting the total for every other card for the first time too, like Becky Lynch, Aleister Black, and AJ Lee, just by turning in the cards or by completing the community milestone rewards. For each card you complete, that's more cards you're turning in and more cards feeding into Rhea Ripley. Secretly, however, each card's numbers, whilst they may fade out and the card might go dark, is secretly recording how many cards you're actually putting into the game of that superstar. And when you reach that maximum level, 150 for Aleister Bliss or 300 for Kairi Sane, as likely as that last one is, it will reward you with that extra card in your inbox. And you can go claim that card whenever it appears. You don't have to wait for it. But there is one trick I would recommend you doing, and that involves potentially doubling your rewards and giving you a free pro of every card you've completed. You won't necessarily have to do this for Aleister Bliss or Becky, but for the likes of Aleister Black and AJ Lee, you might want to hold back completing Rhea Ripley until you have those 2 cards. Kairi will take a lot longer, so don't worry about that one, just take your time. Seriously, I've already completed Rhea Ripley probably 2 times over, and I'm still nowhere near getting my second Kairi Sane, because it seems that no matter how far you are along to getting your second version of each card, upon claiming Rhea Ripley, you will receive another version of that card, at least for now. We believe it's a glitch. It could be a feature, however, so take that with a pinch of salt. A good way of holding back would be to focus on the likes of Aleister Black and Kairi Sane instead of putting in cards from Alexa and Becky. Then hopefully once you've reached 1,000 cards for Rhea, you should see something like this appear in your inbox, giving you an extra card for each card you've claimed. A nice little extra bonus that we're not sure if that's proper, but it's still working now, so just fingers crossed it's working for you when it happens. And as you can see now, once you've claimed Rhea Ripley, you'll be able to get as many of the other cards as you want to, because at that point it is open season. And I mean that because, as you can see, I've got Aleister Bliss F2, I've got an F3 Becky Lynch, an F2 Aleister Black. If you see my last video, you would have seen my Rhea Ripley, this beautiful AJ Lee Pro. Let's end this with a couple of bullet points just to keep things simple. You can collect every single card more than once, but once you've collected it the first time, you need to wait until Rhea Ripley's been obtained. The next point is try to get as many of the cards claimed for the first time before cashing in on Rhea Ripley. This way you're likely to get double rewards in your inbox afterwards. The third point is the total number of cards you can get per day between the store and Boom for free is 48. You can get them from the draft board, but at the moment there seems to be a distribution issue or a cat daddy issue, more likely. And a final bullet point, please don't rush this event unless you are desperate to get some of that mommy, because really you don't need to. You've got 23 days, things will change. They always have in these events. And I just wish you the very best. And to the guys at Cat Daddy, I wish you a very merry increase the rate of cards off the draft board, and some locker codes would be nice, please. Anyway, I've been JB, you've been awesome. Hit the like button if you want to see that season 12 guide on what to do before the new season action kicks in. Comment down below with the last card you got or what the next card you're going to get is. And subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of thing. I said I wasn't going to say subscribe, but I've said subscribe again. I'm just going to stop. Guys, check out this video over here if you want to see how I got Rhea Ripley and evidence of that amazing glitch that happened. Or go to the latest video just down here, or hit my face if you want to subscribe. Just not too hard, please. Anyway, laters. Bye.